Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. I'm Daniel Schwenger. We discuss how to set up the right social media profile together with our guest Thaisa Charlier. She is head of social media at Details Agency, and Kamales Lardi. She is digital and social media specialist from Zurich. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So yeah, social media platforms and social network platforms, there are so many out actually. How to set up one and how to find the right one actually?
Well, actually, when we look at the different social media channels that exist in the market today, there are a myriad of channels and they all have different strengths and weaknesses and different objectives that you can use them for. And so I like to use the social channels also to promote my own personal brand, my business brand, as well as to network and make the right connections. And it's actually quite interesting because it's such a unlimited reach that you can have on social media. So it's not like before, where if you wanted to network, it's just the four walls or the people that you meet in your daily life. But it really goes beyond that, and you can meet people across the world. And so I would advise people who are actually looking to build a brand, or if they're looking to network and create new connections, to start looking at the various channels.
And so you are both social media and communication specialists. You have a long range of experience with a lot of different companies already. So when setting up groups and also bringing out your group brand or your individual brand, so what is actually important? What do you think? If you set it up, what is the most important thing to do?
I would say the first thing would be to find the right channels to use. So once you understand the objectives or what you want to achieve from these channels, then looking for the right channel, and that could be, channels like Facebook would provide you a wider reach. If you're a B2C company or if you're an individual looking to get a wide reach of target audiences, that would be a great one. LinkedIn is more professional. Xing is a bit more professional as well, compared to Facebook and Twitter. Twitter gives you a much quicker access to information, real-time information. So really looking at what your objectives are and then picking the channels that meet those objectives, and then also looking at who your target audiences are. So if you're trying to access the general public or a B2C type customer, which channels should you use? Or if you're trying to access professional networks or trying to access businesses, then perhaps using LinkedIn and Xing might be better suited. So really looking at these couple of things: the objectives, which channel meets those objectives, where your target audiences are for those objectives.
Thaisa, you just set up an own group that is called Women in Digital Media Switzerland, and you did this through LinkedIn. So why did you choose LinkedIn?
Well, I used to volunteer for another organization called Organization of Women International Trade. And I had this group, this organization, I was volunteering for them, but it was not online properly. So I decided, okay, so what should we do to promote the group in the most viral way? And you should just be where other professional people are. So it's LinkedIn. So that's why it was created on LinkedIn, yeah.
And what is this group actually about, and what makes it different from other groups maybe also promoting social media and digital outreach?
Well, there are different reasons for creating the group. First of all, there are many women working in digital in Switzerland, and because Switzerland is very peculiar with the languages, then we thought it would be a good idea to find one channel where all women online could connect through the same language. So English, the group language is English. So what we did is to say, okay, we're only going to accept members who are working in digital directly or indirectly. So it's just for women, but it's open to anyone, so it's open to men as well. And what the group does is just, there are different objectives. First of all, to share best practices, to network, either online or offline, so connecting people, sharing best practice. How do you do that? Basically, for instance, you have a question on how to set social media guidelines for your company, then you say, okay, have you already done this? And then all the participants jump in and give their feedback and their personal experience, professional experience. And the last thing is to give more visibility to women working with digital, because sadly, we saw from conferences that only 6% of women in tech conferences, only 6% of all speakers in tech conferences were women. So let's say this is a platform for more visibility to connect people, and then as a natural consequence, to have more visibility for women working in digital.
And what are the activities, and actually how could interested join into the group?
So you need to be a woman for the online platform for LinkedIn, but we also do offline events. So for instance, we do conferences. We've already done 2, one in Zurich and one in Geneva. And we plan to do in the next month the meetups, so monthly meetups, where we participants, both men and women, will be able to network together. And I also would like to launch specialty groups, so meaning like they're developers, designers, web designers, digital marketers, so they can even have like niche groups, but all over Switzerland. The aim of the group is really to spread it in the Swiss German part and the French speaking parts as well.
And so again, the group is called Women in Digital Switzerland. It can be found on LinkedIn and also through your name, Thaisa Charlier, just to make this detailed and clear. So talking again about general personal branding or branding for your own purpose, actually, what trends do you see in this field of personal branding?
Yeah, one of the things that we definitely see in personal branding is increasingly people are starting to use online channels. You see a lot of small companies existing only online on channels like Facebook, for example. So that's an increasingly growing trend. The other thing you see is people making connections online. For example, we met on this group. I'm a member in the group that Thaisa created. And so it's definitely, there are opportunities there for people to grow and develop and accelerate each other. And with the new style of sales and marketing that's accepted by the digital community, it's not so much direct sales of products and services, but it's more around getting to know each other, networking with people, understanding what people need, and then making mutually beneficial connections. So that's kind of how the digital economy is developing at the moment.
Yeah, it's true. Reciprocity is a very big and important trend, and it always has been, and in particular on social networks. You don't need to do something in order to wait for someone to do something for you, but it's true, it works like that. Yeah. And the other thing too is like make sure everything you do online, either for personal or professional branding, has an impact. So you need to have a strategy, and at the end of the day, what do you want to say? Just like a brand, what do you want to say? What are your values? What do you want to communicate? And how all this makes sense together.
And about best practices, so what would be the better idea, to be very general and tell everything that you're interested in, or to be more specific when setting up your own profile and your own brand? What would you say?
My personal opinion is to have a very clear definition of what it is you do. So what I like to tell my clients as well is within the first 5 seconds of someone looking at your profile or your presence, they need to know what you're about. And if they don't get it within that 5 seconds and they're not interested in it, they're going to leave. Right, so that's how quickly the digital economy works today, or the digital customer. And so it has to be quite clear. That does not necessarily mean specificity or being too general or generic. It depends on making sure you're speaking the right language of the customer. You're trying to understand very clearly what they need and offering that to them on these online channels. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. And maybe I would add that you need to have updated information. Like you try and it's not just to put information out there, just to put something. You just try and change your profile pic, give info, post updates on your industry, and like try and be a thought leader in a way in what you're doing, and to show you do it in a good way. Yeah.
And also to have the right kind of communication and kind of formats, because the channels do differentiate quite a bit in terms of the language that you can use. And for example, LinkedIn and Xing are a little bit more formal in the communication, the language and or the tone of voice. And Facebook can be a little bit more relaxed. Twitter has to be very short and concise. And you have differences between the channels, and having a good understanding for that and using those differences to your advantage is important.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Thaisa Charlier and Kamale Schlardi, for being here in the studio and sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.